but continued to move forward, his axe slashing in a series of short, deadly arcs. Eldrick pulled back, ducked low, and started to advance, but the challenger stepped back again and, with a quick spin of the axe handle, cut across Eldrick's face. Eldrick was stunned and blinded as the cold steel blade smashed his cheekbone and came within an inch of carving out his right eye. A spray of blood arced away from his body, and he staggered from the impact. Despite the rules, a roar went up from the crowd, which was steadily growing, as news of the fight echoed down the narrow, filthy streets of Bathan. The challenger spun quickly on his heels and went into a backhand sweep, but Eldrick anticipated the move and dived to the ground, the axe blade cleaving the air just inches from his head. Still half blind, Eldrick lashed out wildly, trying to cut his opponent's legs, but the axe-wielder jumped over the blade and, with a shout of triumph, smashed Eldrick's scimitar against the ice, severing the blade from the hilt. An expectant hush fell over the crowd as the challenger screamed with joy while raising his axe for the death blow. But with a serpentine movement, Eldrick's left hand whipped out and the wild shout of triumph died, changing into a strangled scream. The challenger tottered above Eldrick, the axe slipping from his trembling hands. He looked down at his chest and weakly fumbled at the hilt of the poignard, already red with blood. He looked at Eldrick with a curious, distant gaze, as if by throwing the knife an unspoken rule had been broken, and then, with an almost graceful ease, the young warrior fell to his knees and collapsed by Eldrick's side. Trying desperately to conceal the trembling of his limbs, Eldrick got to his feet and fumbled for the axe. He picked it up, and with a single blow decapitated the body. A scarlet river flowed briefly across the dark gray ice. Dropping the axe, Eldrick wiped the blood from his face and through a dim red haze looked out at the silent warriors. 10 have challenged my right as captain of the Freebooters Guild, Eldrick cried. Is there an 11th? No one answered, and the crowd looked away from its leader. Several men broke from the crowd and hurried to Eldrick's side. Wrapping their arms around him, they started to lead him away. The crowd parted to let him pass, but one did not step aside. Eldrick squinted at the aging warrior whose flowing gray beard reached halfway to the ground. None. It was his challenge. I asked not for this fight. Norn was silent. I did not want this. It was he who challenged me. You were there to hear it. There was no answer, only a sullen look of defiance. He'll be buried with honor. He served me well at the Cornathian gate. I'll bury my own son as I please. He would prefer my rites to the heretical ones that you practice and try to force on the rest of us. A man stepped out from behind Eldrick. Idol worshipper! The man screamed, waving his sword. Ours is the one true belief. You and yours must see what folly Saul's teachings are. Kill him, Eldrick. He and his scum should be wiped out. They're vermin. They are worshippers of the sun. Without looking back, Eldrick extended his hand in a soothing gesture. Abelson, enough blood has run today. Norn did not answer, nor did he move. In a surprising act of deference, Eldrick stepped around him and went on. Those followers of Sol are trouble, Eldrick, Abelson whispered. We should kill Norn before he causes more trouble. Eldrick looked back at Abelson and shrugged. He is dying of the long fire. Leave him be. Besides, Michael demands a full acceptance of all religious creeds, and of course we must obey our prophet. Eldrick gave a sad, sarcastic smile to his lieutenant as they pushed through the cheering throng of ice-runners, freebooters, harlots, and relic sellers that were the flotsam of the free port of Bathan. No one else dared be first to the body, and an unmoving cloud of metallic-smelling vapor had enveloped the chilling corpse by the time Norn finally approached and knelt beside his son in a slushy pool of blood. Sedmath, why were you such a fool? He whispered. There was no need to challenge him openly. We had the men. We had the ships. Why couldn't...